My name is Dupiano. I'm currently 24, Air National Guard civil engineer, and I'm Filipino American. Yeah, so pretty much what civil engineer does is we're usually in charge of base maintenance or anything with structures. So say like they need a base built in Afghanistan, I'll probably get sent there. Or say like we had one in Alaska where they were relocating indigenous people. We had to make brand new homes for them. So it depends on the type of disaster or circumstance. Yeah, so pretty much Air National Guard is a subcomponent of the Air Force. Air Force is usually made of primarily active duty members. National Guard is a bigger compartment and it's split between all the three branches. There's Marines, National Guard, there's also Army National Guard. Mine is specifically Air National Guard. So each one has its different functions. For me specifically, we're mostly in charge of things here domestically, but we do get deployed every 3 years to different locations as well, and usually it's a combined force at that point. Yeah, so I moved here when I was about 7 years old. My family immigrated from the Philippines, and my parents are both in the medical field, so my dad's a doctor and my mom's a nurse. Unfortunately, my dad's doctor license doesn't work here in the US, so he actually opted to work at the Philippines instead. So right now I'm living with my mom and my stepdad. I guess like the biggest transition was definitely high school to college. In my life, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was kind of just going through high school, getting good grades. I ended up finishing with Valley Victorian. And I was pretty set with OSU. That was the only school I applied to, so 1 for 1. But I would say the biggest turning point in college was my freshman year. My second semester, I realized I really didn't want to keep doing just random stuff or just trying to fulfill these quotas that getting good grades or appeasing my parents who wanted me to go to the medical field as well. So I think that was probably one of my biggest turning points, and then that's when I joined the military to get my school fully paid for. After 1 year of military, you pretty much have to take a gap year. So I went back to school right after that, back to my sophomore year. Like, of course, like everything's kind of changed a little bit. Everyone's 1 year older than me from my grade prior. But since then, I've changed my major to be finance. So something I really wanted to do is like start my own business. That's something that I think that's one of my other turning points in the future was like pursuing that. So I started a clothing brand called Achu International. Pretty much this is a clothing brand that is focused on Asian Americans and focused on bringing stories of Asian Americans through clothing. So I started that around my junior year, and then now it's my senior year. I'm about to graduate in a month, hopefully, and then I'm taking a gap year to actually pursue like a small business idea. So other than Achu International, I really wanted to do branding and marketing. I think telling stories and really perceiving or showing that the behind the scenes of small businesses is something I'm really passionate about, knowing people's why and showcasing that. So I'm going to be doing a small business called Fluff Studios, and it's going to be a branding and marketing firm. So that's kind of where I am right now. Yeah, so I would say like definitely financial situations. So I was going through student loans, because my parents are very like strict in terms of you have to work hard for what you have. They weren't like here like we'll pay for your school or anything like that. They were more so you're just gonna have to work and stuff like that. So I decided to go through a military route just so that I can afford school without like having to worry about overhead or anything like that or debt after college. So definitely financial freedom was one of them. Another one is time. So I really needed time to really think and develop myself more and really understand why I'm doing what I'm doing or why I'm studying school. I think those two primary reasons of financial freedom and time were my biggest reasons. Yeah, so I was actually first recruited by an Army recruiter, and I was actually pretty close to signing off completely, but my mom said no, don't do that. She just heard that the Air Force was a lot more specified in terms of like what I wanted to do, which is like business and more, I guess, like more technical things. Army and Marines are known to be more like physical jobs, such as like infantry and things like that. So that's kind of my only information when I went in, and my mom was more appreciative of the Air Force, so that's kind of why I joined the Air Force side of it. Yeah, so short-term goals is definitely just to get off school for a little bit, take some time off, and then long-term goals, it's definitely like get a new experience, get a new perspective of everything. It was my first time ever like leaving home, like far away from like my parents and my friends. So being in a complete like brand new environment, new displacement, just doing something where I know absolutely no one, I think that has really taught me in the long term like how to just find myself like wherever I am. Like I think that's one of the biggest things in terms of like goal oriented. It's definitely given me more confidence to pursue like the small business ideas, pursue like bigger things that I was so caged in while I was in college my first year, because of the perception that college is safety and like everything here is already pre-made for you. I think leaving my first year was kind of like opening my mind to more possibilities outside of that. So I think on the long term, it's definitely helped me pursue that long-term goal of starting my own business. Yeah, so well, the military pays for your school. Well, in terms of like National Guard, they'll pay for your tuition, and then you'll also get a stipend every single month that you're in school. So that stipend is usually like $300 to $700 depending on your sign up, and then you'll get a sign up bonus as well. So just knowing that you don't really have to work too hard while you're in school is nice, because I can focus on my studies instead of doing like a part-time job or anything like that. Another benefit is they'll also help you with I guess travels. So you get to travel around the world and kind of get paid for it. So that's one of the benefits. You'll still be working, but usually like I've been sent to like Germany, I've been sent to Alaska. After like 5 days of work, usually you get your weekends off. So you'll end up getting like some kind of mini vacation away from everything after all that work. So I think those are the primary things I've really noticed. So they'll cover most like public schools around your area. So they'll cover full tuition. There are exceptions to like design and art. So design and art schools are usually prorated, meaning it's not full tuition, and it just depends on the school. Yeah, so it depends if you're active or if you're currently either reserve or National Guard. So if you're active, meaning you're fully activated, you're working pretty much all the time, you'll get full TRICARE, which is probably like one of the best healthcare like things available here right now in the US. So you get TRICARE completely free as an active duty service member, but in my case, I can purchase TRICARE for a discounted rate because I'm not fully active. Tech school. So pretty much tech school is after basic training, and what that is usually you go to school for your specialization. So I specialize in civil engineer. I ended up doing tech school for about 2 to 3 months, but pretty much it's like a bunch of people my age that didn't know what they wanted to do and outside of the military. So it felt like just one big like sleepover, honestly, like with really close friends. And then everyone gets paid the same, so like you don't really have to worry about budgeting or anything like that, because everyone knows everyone's like bank accounts and like paychecks, and like it just feels nice to feel like you're in a group of people that you can call your brothers, your friends, your schoolmates, your workmates, and everyone's studying the same thing, everyone gets the same time off. And it's just weird to see that in one specialized location where everyone's just as lost as you are, or like everyone's trying to find themselves. Outside of like tech school and boot camp, another favorite memory was going to Israel. So we were able to go to Israel for about a month in the summer, and it was like a training mission, but we were 4 days on, meaning 4 days of work and then 3 days off. So we got 3-day weekends, and we just got to travel around like Jerusalem. We got to travel around like the neighboring countries as well. And after work, we just go to the beach like in Israel. So that was really fun. I think like one of the things that people don't realize is like military work-life balance is actually really good. You'll work hard like all day, but then like afternoon, like they'll let you do whatever you want, wherever you are. I definitely wanted to know about like military because I would have signed up my freshman before I went into college, because I really did think that 1 year of just trying to understand what I wanted to do really helped me decide what I wanted to do in college, because most freshmen, they kind of just go in and they'll change majors 2 to 3 times instead of taking that time off to really think about it. So I definitely do recommend going before college if you are thinking about it. And they'll pay for your school, so you don't have to think about costs or anything like that. Other opportunities, honestly, like I think like even just trying to start a small business isn't as hard as people think. I think with like the YouTube videos, honestly, right now, or any kind of like online course, like you'll be able to start anything you want. It might not blow up right away, but you can start it. So definitely like apply for scholarships. Like it's really like, usually it's not given, usually you have to find it. So apply for as many scholarships as you can, especially like if it's like diversity scholarships. I would take advantage of that because you are a minority. Like I would take advantage of that. Once again, like you can always join the military. You can actually become a citizen by doing the military. So if you don't have full citizenship yet, that might be something of interest, of getting your citizenship through service. And then definitely like there's a lot of schools out there. You don't have to pick the best school or anything like that. I think schools, like it just depends on what you want to do and what you do with your degree that really matters. From my experience, like I'm finishing my degree in finance, but post-grad I'm not doing anything related to finance. I'm doing more so like marketing and branding. So honestly, yeah, like as long as you can find some next step of either higher education or even just going straight to work through military, I think those 2 routes are pretty good to start off with. And I didn't pursue active military, but active military you can actually do for 4 years instead of a full 6-year contract like I did. And after that, they'll pay for your college, but also you get full benefits of a VA loan. So VA loans are really good because they're usually lower rates and they are more accepting of military or like they are for military members. So you can find yourself in a situation where you're 18 and by 22 you can buy a house. So there's those things to kind of think about too. Mabuhay. So mabuhay means be alive, and usually in the Philippines we usually say that as an expression to like our neighbors or like someone that we just met, or when we're saying goodbye. It's just a good term to like kind of leave with. It's like be alive and just be vibrant in your wherever you are. So that's what that means.